Yeah, like a
Good.
10-minute video.
Yeah, just show them like dronies and places to fly and all that kind of stuff. So
Listen, you got to talk about us. This is our partners, Ron and DeMarco, and do
yeah,
about 5 minutes.
I'll send them a link to DroneNation. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to start the show now? I think we're live.
We're live. I mean,
Marcus, a little sound check? Or,
I had to mute my other screen here, Ron. Yeah, Checkmate King 2. This is White Rick over.
Sounding perfect tonight. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and welcome into Drone Nation for June 2nd, 2025. The title of this show is, will DJI be officially banned in the U.S.? Who knows? It's only three of us tonight, no guests tonight, just going for the big guns tonight. We got a lot of important issues to get settled and discussed tonight, so we're going to keep it down to the core here. Now, I do have a couple of shout outs here. I wanted to, I hope everyone had a great Memorial Day holiday last Monday. Of course, celebrating the fallen, veterans of foreign wars and so on. So, important holiday, and I hope everybody enjoyed the time off. And also, I want to send out wish Johnnie DroneFlyer a wonderful vacation week. Johnny, the hardest working man in the drone business, he is officially off the grid this week. He's at a sequestered location somewhere in the unknown regions. Yeah, he's out sunning. He didn't do one of his coffee shows yesterday. He's not doing Fly for Fun. I mean, Johnny's just he's just cut off from communication. So
other than his grandkids.
Yes, his grandkids and the whole family at the lake, I believe. And one other thing I know, Marcus, I think you posted this day or yesterday, and I was going to mention tonight, but it's not on the agenda because we haven't had a show for 2 weeks. But one of Marcus's beloved little drones, the Mini 4K, went on another sale for $249. I think normally goes for $299. This is basic bundle. I'm only talking basic bundle prices here. And I think that drone actually had gone a little bit lower around the holidays last year. $249 is a pretty good price, and it was going to be the Drone Nation deal today, but I checked this afternoon.
Today, didn't it?
$99. So, I hope anybody that wanted that grabbed it in the last 2 weeks.
Here's what I'll say, though. Even at $299, that is a steal. That's a steal of a deal.
Yes. Yeah, and of course, it's an older drone, so it's already in like Amazon warehouses or whatever. And I guess you get. I looked at Amazon. I don't know if you get that direct from DJI.
You can actually
it's already here in the warehouse. You don't have to worry about tariffs or not getting through customs.
Why you can too.
Yeah. If you ordered in Amazon, it was here in the U.S. already.
Ron, I'm looking up the DJI store right now, and I'm going to tell you if it is available. We'll take a quick look here.
Yes. Available from somebody coming from a U.S. website.
It is. I'm on the U.S. website, and you can buy either just the single battery kit for $299 or the Fly More combo for $449, which I think is probably a wise move, because you'll want those extra batteries.
Do you think somehow that's sitting in a U.S. warehouse already, and that's why you don't see the tariff price? You see good availability because it's already here.
There's that, and listen, I am no expert at all, but also that de minimis rule might play into it too, where anything under $800 don't require a tariff, so that wouldn't go through customs. Listen, Ron, I'm no expert. But I suspect that's why you can still get drones like you talked about the Flip and so forth, because they're under that $800 limit. So, but don't quote me on that because I'm no expert.
Yeah, we'll get deep in the woods in that later on the show. But good points, Marcus. Again, if you got it, congrats, you got it. The extra $50 off. And for some people, that's important or whatever.
Ron, I have so much fun flying that drone. I flew it day before yesterday. Actually, I posted the video today. It's just a riot. It flies great. It's got those great DJI flight controls. It takes, decent video. It's just a lot of fun. And there's something what I'll say is there's something liberating about a $250 or $300 drone that you're just a little more relaxed when you're flying it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and you know, you've been a champion of the drone since it came out. And I wanted to get in there. It's a 2-year old drone at this point. We're not talking about something that's recent. It came out 2 years ago, or 2 years and counting, in a couple of months, or whatever. It came out in February, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so maybe it has been out that long. That's kind of time flies when you're having fun, but
yeah. And you know, and I remember when it came out, it got a lot of bad, not bad press, but it got a lot of bad feedback from users because they were, I guess people expected it to be better than like the Mini 2 was. And it was, you know, in many ways, it was basically the same drone as the Mini 2. I mean, I'm simplifying that, and a lot of people were very disappointed. A lot of hateful comments got put up on the early reviews of the 4K because they said, "Oh, DJI's, they're just ripping people off. It's just the Mini 2 or whatever." And but you know, we were ripping them off. It's cheaper than the Mini 2.
It's $300. I mean, you know, holy cow! And you know, I can compare that. Let's see, like for instance, this Snaptane P30 right here. It has no gimbal. It actually flies okay. It works okay for this is a Best Buy drone, but this thing is $359, I believe, at Best Buy. So,
how many batteries, Marcus?
This one just came with one battery. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. So my point is, and then you can talk about things like this Ruko U11 Mini.
Which does have a drone now. That's a very popular drone.
Yeah, and it does have a gimbal, and it's it is a 3 battery kit, so kind of a fly more kit. But the regular price on that is $499 on Amazon. So yeah.
And with that Snapchat, Marcus, for people who are walking in the Best Buy and buying that, is that like? I mean the
DeMarco, Shelly's in a video outside doing her gardening.
Cut the flowers.
Isn't it on the other side?
I know. Look, it's crazy. Do that right now. She had to do that.
Yeah, come on, anyway, weed. Pull a weed.
Anyway, for the people who are walking in the Best Buy and buying that, it's not like a bad drone. You know, like they're walking out of that, and we're all just like, "Oh, why'd you buy that?" It's not the greatest, but it's not bad, is it?
It flies and it works, and you can actually. You know, it does what they say it'll do, but again, for the money, you get much better flight controls. You get a much better camera. Everything about the Mini 4K works better. And in fact, when I reviewed both of those drones, in the conclusion of the video, I mentioned because you can't not. I just tell people, you know, hey, check out the Mini 4K.
Yeah. And plus, we talk about this a lot. That Mini 4K has support from its seller or whatever. It has a year warranty. You can buy DJI Carrier Refresh with the other drones you mentioned. It's probably very sketchy support on them. Is that correct?
Well, both Snaptane and Ruko actually have a pretty decent support system. What you can't get with them is to get the drone repaired. So if you have a problem, they typically will just send you another one. You know, they don't. Right. They don't.
And they're Amazon drones, so you're not shipping anything back to China or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like a FEMI would or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Like FEMI or Hubsan, etc.
Yeah. Okay, well, enough talking about a drone that's no longer on sale. We've been off a couple weeks, so a lot of rumors came out in the meantime, leaks, rumors, and so on. This is a story from our buddy Jasper Ellens, a great provider of information, and of course he's associated with DroneXL.co here. And his little article he put up May 25th, so that's already almost a week ago here. And in the article, he teases a bunch of new DJI products coming out, in the near future. You see a headline: a Mini 5, an Avata 3, a Neo 2, and there's also 2 camera products. a DJI Nano camera, and also of course, the much rumored for almost a year now DJI 360 camera. So I'm sure you guys have kind of seen some information on this, and we'll get to this in a second here, but of course one of the real questions is here: will any of these products be available to purchase in the U.S. in the coming months or whatever? So, but let me just go on to, I just skim over this a little bit here. They have, of course, they show the what they supposedly the 1-inch sensor camera on the Mini 5, and they show LiDAR in one of these pictures, and this has already got FCC approval, and of course that doesn't mean anything. The Mavic 4 Pro got FCC approval. And of course, the Avata 3, another little drone in the picture here is what they think is the Neo 2 with a bunch of batteries taped to it as a Neo 2 hiding in plain sight. And they're comparing.
Go ahead,
DeMarco.
That looks like a flip. Go down. That one on the left there. That looks like a flip, doesn't it?
Well, they say it's a Nano with 2 batteries taped to the top of it.
Oh.
The Nano 2 with 2 batteries taped. But to your point, DeMarco, that could be anything. That's somebody guessing what it is.
Yeah.
And in that, they compare the new Nano, of course, to the old Action 2, the beloved Action 2. They also, I didn't mention this before, there's also rumors of DJI Mic 3. And
well, Ron, you know that I really like that form factor that the Action 2 had. It's a hit, and I still have my Action 2 for that very reason.
I saved your bacon on vacation.
It did. When I was on vacation, the Action 5 didn't work, and the Action 2 saved my bacon, as you say. So if this Nano is that form factor, and I think it's interesting.
Let me hold this up just a second. This is just their speculation putting in the picture. That's not official.
I get it. I get it. It's totally speculation, but it kind of makes sense because there were a lot of people like me that liked that camera. Where DJI messed up originally was calling it an action camera, because there were things about it like you couldn't put the whole thing underwater, etc. So it wasn't a true action camera, and they marketed it as one, and they shouldn't have. However, there are a lot of things that work really well for the way I use a small camera like that, and I think a lot of other people too.
Yeah, I to your point, Marcus, it should kind of market like Insta360 does with their little wearable camera.
Yes,
you have that too.
Yeah, the Insta360 Go. I have the Go too.
It should have been marketed similar to that camera.
I totally agree. I see Dr. B is saying that he just ordered some batteries for the Air 3S and the Mini 4 Pro, just being cautious. Yeah, it makes sense, because if we get cut off, at least you'll have some batteries. Yeah.
And there's a good chance there's already a stock of batteries in the U.S. So,
I suspect so, yeah.
You could probably get them without, tariffs and everything like that. So, anyways, I'm not going to go through each of these products in mass here, but any opinions on any of these new products?
I got a question for Ron. I got a question for Ron Brown. Yes. So, Ron, what are they going to do to the Neo to improve it and to make a Neo 2?
Well, number one, of course, improved camera. The Neo's, lacking its, of course, it's the cheapest DJI drones, so it should have the worst camera, but they could at least put the Mini 4K quality camera in it, which is already a 2-year-old device and more.
Well, here's a problem I see is it doesn't have a gimbal. Well, it's got a 1-axis gimbal.
Yeah.
So it relies on electronic image stabilization. So you already have a tiny little sensor, and then it's using electronic image stabilization, moving the image around on that sensor. So what would the solution be? A bigger sensor?
Basically the same step as the Avata 1 and 2 has.
That's a great point. So if you put a camera like even the Avata 1 would be a big improvement over what is currently on it. Yeah, good point, Ron.
About battery life, sound. I mean, it's going to be loud.
Yeah, they are all loud. Yeah, yeah.
That's good points, DeMarco. The sound, the sound is almost every drone that's not a big drone has a sound issue, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's
And I
almost no
wonder
small
with
drone that sounds good.
ducted props, it's probably hard to reduce the sound
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
And Rich was saying too here, longer flight time for the Neo. So yeah, that's probably more doable than the sound. And when I say better camera, I'm not talking about a 1-inch, 100 megapixel camera. I'm just talking about at least get it up to other budget drones type of level. And I'm not that one. The one-axis gimbal is not really bothering me or whatever, because you know why? If it wasn't a one-axis gimbal, it couldn't do FPV. That's why everybody expected the Flip to be an FPV drone, but a 3-axis gimbal, to my knowledge, Marcus, there is no such thing as a 3-axis FPV drone.
Hey, Ron, I don't want to interrupt you, but JAA just posted there that he said at the DJI store, the Mavic 4 is now available, and I'm clicking on it right now.
Right now too.
To see.
Should I try to get it? Should I try to get up on the big screen here, Marcus?
Well, hang on. Give me just a second, Ron.
It is not
sorry to the sound here, but I'm trying to get it up on the big screen too here.
I am not seeing it on mine. So yeah, I boy,
I'm not seeing it either.
You had me going there, Joel. I wanted to see it, but yeah. Yeah.
Are you're not looking at it from St. Kitts, are you?
Yeah.
it would be on the, if you're looking at it from the St. Kitts store. JA is saying a $27.99 for the Flymore combo.
I'll be darned. Well, it's not. I'm glad he's seeing it. I would go ahead and.
Dr. Joseph, order 3 of them. Order 1 for yourself and 3 for the panel. We'll pay you back.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get the camera fresh.
So I'm going to try something different here. I'm going to see if I can get to it on a different browser, Ron, and see if maybe some cookies were stopping me from seeing it. So we'll see.
That's still great.
While he's doing that, DeMarco, okay, we talked about better camera, better battery life. What else would you want to see in a little Neo?
I don't have the Neo, so it's I'm sort of guessing here, but maybe better software for the what is it, hand adjusting things and all that, the camera.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I don't have a Neo.
It doesn't so much have gestures as you just if you're flying without a controller phone, you tap the buttons on the top. Mark's had an update.
I don't.
Well, I just wanted to point out what Bill Grace said. He just got the creator combo by ordering it through Canada from and a friend mailed it to him. So that's a thought. I got friends in Canada too.
Congrats.
Yeah. Koopy is reporting the same thing. He doesn't see it either. So
Jim doesn't see it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I derailed you, Ron.
DeMarco just bringing up some points that that maybe he'd like to see an improved Neo 2. Outside of a better camera and longer battery life, is there anything else you would like to see come on the Neo 2?
I'm with you, Ron. The camera is the big thing, but what I love about the Neo, well, I guess the other thing is there have been a few flyaways with it, and I actually experienced a flyaway with that drone too.
Right.
So hopefully they can improve that and correct that. And you read about enough of them, I know it exists and it's a problem. Now the camera is the big thing, but what I love about that drone is how versatile it is. It is the most versatile drone that there is out there. It can do so much. You can fly it with almost any controller. You can fly it with an FPV controller, the motion controller. You can use goggles. You can use your phone. You can fly it without a controller. You can use the DJI RC2, or you can use the just the DJI RCN3 controller. So all those controllers work with the Neon. What other drone can say that?
True, true. Brad Henderson is saying remote ID on a Neo too, which of course,
I'd be all for that.
Right, but of course DJI they consider these under 250 grand drone to be for hobbyists, and they think hobbyists don't want to be seen where they fly. They don't, and it's not required. So DJI's in a tough spot there, because there is as many people. There's at least as many people that don't want remote ID as pro flyers, who need to have it to fly pro.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
like if you're part 107, or you are Marcus, but even if you're making YouTube videos or whatever, anything, you're required to have that remote ID on it. But if you're under 250 grand and you're a total hobbyist, you're not part 107, you don't make any money, you don't post videos on for-profit websites, you're not required to have it all. And a lot of people in that category, they don't want people to know where they are in the air. Yeah. And I'm not, I'm not Simon one way or the other. Yeah. It's a personal choice. It's a shame they wouldn't make ones. I know they would never do this, but they would make remote ID models and non-remote ID models, and you make that choice at your purchase time.
Yeah, that would be fine. Although, well, yeah, I've seen a lot of reviews from some big channels of the Neo. I've yet to see one with a remote ID module on it. So there's that.
Right. Right.
Like we are, I don't know, how many years in? 3 years into this?
Well, you're talking about remote ID.
At least 2 required.
2023.
And it's still just something that, shake your head at.
Well, here, I guess I would say a drone like the Neo, where it's being flown at very low altitude. It's a really lightweight drone. What's the point?
Hey, Marcus, no, the reason why I said that though, because like years ago, like we've all said this, for a regular person walking into wherever and buying this drone or ordering it, they're going to know nothing about that.
Well, and they're probably not going to have a Part 107 if they know nothing about it.
Yeah. And the point I'm trying to make is we're years into this and still nothing has changed as far as informing people. I
have had, this is going to crack you up, DeMarco. I've had comments on some of my videos that people have taken the trust test and they think that's a commercial drone license. So, but to your point, that's lack of education, right? Yeah. I can see how they could get confused, right?
Yeah.
They think they take a test and they have a drone license. Yeah.
But the same way now, think about a driver's license. How many people are walking in and getting a driver's license thinking that it's a CDL? No, because the reason why they're not doing that, because there is information. Someone's telling them there is stuff. This is for a car license, but for drone, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Koopy is even pointing out that compliance with the trust test is kind of a joke too. It just doesn't exist that much because people don't know, right? They like you said, they go into Best Buy or a better example is Costco or Sam's Club. They just walk in and they buy that drone. There's nothing telling them that they have to do anything, Yeah.
And let's get back to, again, the elephant in the room here. All these products sound great, right? But being that, DJI chose not to fly the Mavic 4, sell the Mavic 4 Pro in the U.S. because of, again, they didn't say why. We have speculated about it many times, so I'm going to skip that part right now. But if the Mavic 4 Pro, they chose not to sell it in the U.S., why would they choose to sell these other products in the U.S.?
Well, I suspect that de minimis rule has something to do with it. And so to your point, Ron, a drone like if there's an Avata 3 or the Mini 5 Pro, they would certainly be above that, and it could potentially affect them. Yeah. I mean, again, just the theory on my part, like
the what do you call the drone you have, Marcus? The one with the DJI drone with the
flip?
props around it. The flip. The flip only came out in the middle of the end of January, and the Mavic 4 Pro launched in the beginning of May. So it was only 4 months separated as release. What happened in the 4 months where the flip came out with no issues at all to 4 months later? They don't
De minimis. De minimis.
Yeah, our theory is, and I think, my theory is completely Ron Brown's theory is the lobbyists who are stopping, who want this ban drone, they want to ban DJI's enterprise level drones, which they already have in some states. So some states will have. They want to ban enterprise level drones, probably aspire 3 or 4 level drones, maybe again even high end camera drones like Mavic 4 Pro. But they have little or no interest in getting in the fat middle of the market. They don't care if they dominate the $300 drone market. They really don't want to even build because the margins are so low on those little drones. They almost don't care if they see that bottom portion of the market.
So Alex 740 is making a good point here. The Air 3S is often not available. I just checked just now. The Mini 4 Pro, you can't buy it off of DJI's website. There are places that have it on Amazon. You can still get it on Amazon. But again, Ron, I think those are because it's already in the country.
Yeah. And as far as camera products, we mentioned this nano camera, mentioned 360 camera. We mentioned the DJI mics. So far, I have. Correct me if I'm wrong, Marcus DeMarco. So far, I don't think any non-DJI drone products have been held up. It seems like the cameras and mics are being able to get to customers. Do we know any different?
Oh, I thought you were talking about things like Autel or something.
No. I mean, DJI products besides drones, cameras, microphones, whatever else. They don't seem to have a problem getting through.
But again, I think most of those products are below that $800 de minimis.
Yeah.
I suspect that's part of it.
Yeah, right. I mean even the most, I guess the Action 5 Pro would be the most expensive of those products.
Right.
Yeah. So whether it's that, whether it's the whole drone thing, So I'm gonna get to the next. We're gonna move up to the next subject here. Let me get that set up here. Get it present on the screen here. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, here's something for you, Marcus. Today, our buddy Igor, he posted. He says, "Well, what do we have here? The RC Track prototype is back now. We heard. Let me get to poor John off the screen there so we can see. A month or two ago, we heard the RC Track was dead, wasn't coming out anymore. So all of a sudden, Igor's got some fresh pictures of it. Do you think this product has any life again, Marcus?
Well, based on what I saw of Billy Kyle's video about tracking with the Mavic 4 Pro, DJI really needs a beacon. They need it. They need it bad. Yeah, because just like what I've experienced with all the other DJI drones, is the tracking works pretty good until you get obscured by anything, whether it's a tree or a building or whatever, and then the drone loses you every time, and often will not pick you up when you become visible again. So a beacon would solve that and would definitely improve their tracking.
DeMarco?
Same. Like, it's a little late, should have had it for the Mavic 3.
Which is remember the rumors came up at the same time that the Mavic 3 was coming out. So yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Mark, go ahead.
Well,
I was say, like, one of the biggest things, like when I try to use it, I'm on like this kids thing, skateboard, and when I'm trying to have my controller in my hand and use it doing that's creepy.
That doesn't work, right?
No, it doesn't work at all. But like a beacon would be great if it worked right too. Now, hopefully they've got it all narrowed down since Skydio did it years ago.
the Skydio beacon works very, very well. It is. I'm just trying to think if I suppose I've probably got the Skydio stuck before, but boy, not very often. It works very, very well. Now, what we know about DJI is they're not releasing it because they don't want to. They know and they want to make money, so they are refining the product. And what I would say is good for them, because probably when we do see it, it'll be really good. If we see it, the thing is we don't. Yeah, we may never see it anyway.
Well, yeah.
No, like looking at it, doesn't look like much either. Look at that. I mean, it's just.
It definitely looks more compact than the Skydio beacon.
DeMarco, modern miniaturized electronics are just amazing.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't have anything here in front of me, but on my phone. That's right.
Yeah. Marcus referred to Billy's test. He does a test at the same place by the golf course, and his torture test, kind of like his the American torture test compared to what's the guy over in the Netherlands?
DC Rainmaker. Yeah.
Those trees. He calls it his torture test.
Yeah.
But I believe the Mavic 4 Pro survived the torture test, right?
I have not watched DC Rainmaker's video.
I believe it did, and of course, it maybe it didn't track Billy, but the Mavic 4 Pro survived the torture test without a crash.
Yeah,
no, was that the Mavic 3 when he was doing his torture test and it rammed into a tree? It just stopped and just ran right into it. This is years ago now.
Most of his do hit something eventually. I'm not sure if it was a lot of damage, but. Yeah, usually it's some kind of a drone hits something or clips a branch or something.
Yeah.
So, again, here's the thing I'll say about this. I've seen people make comments about this. For tracking people, it's meant for tracking people walking. It's not meant to track people on fast-moving two-wheel vehicles. Now, it does have a thing for tracking a car, and it can track a car, I believe, up to 25 miles per hour.
Or boats.
The person is not made to go that fast.
It tracks boats. It'll recognize a watercraft as well. It'll recognize a car and a watercraft and people. So, I try tracking on a bicycle sometimes, and it struggles with that because it doesn't know if you're a person or what you are.
Really, again, it doesn't really think it's a car, so it's tracking as a person, and it doesn't expect the person to be moving that fast. So we are trying to make it do something that it's kind of not intended to do, track people quickly.
Yeah, maybe, Ron, but I'll say this: DJI's Active Track. If you are out in the open and you're not going to get obscured by anything, like I've tracked it, like out at the Snake River Canyon in my car, driving out to the rim of the canyon and stuff. It's flawless. It works really great. As long as it can see you, it keeps you right in the center of frame. You can move it around to whichever side of it you want it to be. It works really, really well. If they can get it in conjunction with GPS tracking, they'll have a winner.
And another thing, if you're trying to track yourself, that's where you have issues. And unfortunately, most people making YouTube videos of DJI drones are all alone. But if you were tracking somebody else beside yourself, whether they be in a car, a boat, or anything, it would be perfectly fine. If you weren't part of it or whatever, you being part of it makes it more difficult. Like, again, if I'm not tracking myself, I could track cars up and down the beach all day long, or boats or whatever, or even people that aren't me.
Well, it's also I'll call it the DeMarco conundrum. Trying to carry that controller while you're tracking it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a big advantage if you're not tracking yourself. Yeah, you're not. So that's part of the problem too. I guess with DJI Mavic, they never figured that almost 99% of their customers are going to be using them themselves.
Yeah,
they didn't realize that all his drone people are lone wolves or whatever. But anyhow, Igor has another post here. This the Dash Jasper had this up too, but I was happened to grab Igor's. This popped up last week. Here is some leaks and rumors on the DJI vacuum cleaner. And don't get me wrong here. They even have a nickname for it. It's called the Romo. Now, I don't know if that's named after Tony Romo, the great Cowboys quarterback, but yeah. So
I think it Romo's around your house. So just think about this, folks. DJI is going to map your house now. Not only will they know the outside from the drone footage, they'll know every room in your house. Don't say I didn't warn you.
There you go.
Hey, I'm a vacuum guy, so I'm all into this. We actually have two Roborock S7 Max Vs. They're about 2 years old, top of the line ones. They do have cameras on them, but I don't care. I mean, what are they gonna see?
Tracking. Now, DeMarco, let me ask you this question: how much do these top of the line vacuum cleaners cost?
Oh, I think when I paid, this is 2023. I think I bought them. They were like 1,400 each, but I got them for 1,049 each.
Well, at that price point, that means they may be on the ban, right? They're over that. What's that word you say, Marcus?
De minimis. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to welcome you. We've renamed the show Vacuum Nation.
or Romo Nation.
There you go.
No. Listen, like we used to have this.
Do you think this vacuum cleaner can get through the DJI ban?
Got no clue.
I hope so. But what I was going to say is now they are playing catch up because Roborock is the big boy on the block, and they have a lot of catching up to do. So, the tables have turned on them. So we'll see.
Right. DJI doesn't have it all. It's not like in the drone thing where they got it all to themselves. They got competition.
Yeah.
So I'll go. So Marcus sounds like he's all in. DeMarco sounds like he's all in. Marcus, would you order a vacuum cleaner from DJI? I know you love the new technology from DJI.
I love technology, but we have a wonderful lady that comes to our house every so often and takes care of that for us. It's so yeah. No, I won't be getting one.
Yeah.
So, Mark, what testing one for free? Would you do it?
Oh well, hell yeah! Of course I would.
Yeah. Send it to me.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how ironic that is? The only thing DJI was sending you to test was a vacuum cleaner.
I tell you,
you do have to calibrate.
Hey, I think we ought to get back to drones, Ron. We're
losing viewers quickly here.
Yeah.
Hold on. We got one here that's going to get them all shaken up here, guys. Okay, here this article came out here. May 31st. It was on all the websites. This is Hey Kestel's version over on DroneXL.co here. Hey, he's a friend of the channel here. He always has great information. And the headline is Trump's new orders likely to ban Chinese DJI drones impacting pilots and the drone industry. And I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but that's just first couple sentences. President Trump's upcoming executive orders set to be signed next week. Some people say it's Wednesday, may drastically alter the U.S. drone market by potentially banning Chinese-made drones from companies like DJI and Autel. According to a recent Washington Post report, these orders aim to address national security concerns while boosting domestic drone production, a move that could affect both rec pilots and professional operators across the country. The White House is finalizing multiple executive orders targeting Chinese drone manufacturers, focusing on security risks, the U.S. intelligence community, blah, blah, blah. So the rest of it here, is kind of stuff we've read before.
You're not going all Bill the drone reviewer on us, are you, Ron?
Yeah, I'm not going to read every single word. I don't have the vocal cords that Bill does, but
yeah. So let me tell you what this prompted me to do when I saw this article is I went over to the Washington Post and I read the actual article.
Right.
And in fact, I have it up here. We could actually put it up on screen. Ron, hang on here. If you want me to share it,
let me get rid of mine and then make room for yours. Okay, go ahead.
Let's go present. Share screen.
If anybody wants to read Hayes' full article, just go over to the DroneNation on Facebook, and it's posted right there. It's posted into the show links here too. And I've got Marcus's up here. Here we go.
So the first thing is that headline. That headline is there simply to sell newspapers.
Right.
or yeah, and yeah. So here's what actually is going on. And people that know me know that I am no fan of the current administration whatsoever. But it's important to, when you read the news, to dig into it and figure it out. So what well, and everybody's just guessing about these executive orders too. This is all just rumors coming down. So keep that in mind as well. But what one of them says is that he is actually then going to push a government department. They say in here, the Defense Department or the military or the CIA to do an investigation into DJI and see if they are actually a security risk. And you may remember, let's go back to the 2024 Defense Authorization Act, where it had a clause in there that by the end of 2025, I think it was November of 2025, they were it just said a government organization, a government department needed to make that assessment. That the problem is the bill didn't name which government department was going to do that. So I think what we all knew is also, if it expired and didn't get done, then DJI would automatically end up on that covered list. So with this, at least we know somebody's going to make an assessment. I'm feeling pretty discouraged about the whole thing, and I suspect we're in trouble with our drones. But don't just read a headline like this and think that it's, that the sky is completely fallen. You need to read the details. So
that's a good point, Marcus. And that's what do you call not the other drone publication, the other one. Their take on this is actually a good thing for DJI, because if the current administration forces somebody to do that security analysis and it comes back clean, that's almost what DJI wants. There's
other aspects to some of those executive orders too. They're talking about investing in U.S. drone manufacturers, etc. Not a bad thing. And of course, Trump's son, Don Jr., is on the board of directors of one of those U.S. drone manufacturers. So it's a Florida company. I don't remember. I could look it up if you need me to, DeMarco. But that's a point to be made. What we all know is that there's no current, not just U.S. manufacturer, but anywhere else in the world besides China that makes consumer level drones. So it's as my friend John Coopy puts it, it's the death of 1,000 cuts.
Yeah. And again, I've been saying this all along that I believe the U.S. drone industry. Well, I mean, I guess the few people are making enterprise drones, but all these new drone companies, they're interested in enterprise level equipment, high margins, higher end drones. They're not really interested in most of us consumer drone flyers. Most of us fly sub $1,000 drones for the most part. The people watch these shows or in the hobby, and they're not interested in making sub $1,000 drones. They're probably mostly interested in making Mavic 4 Pro level drones, pricing it up.
So
that leaves a wide gap.
Can I just draw you a little scenario, Ron?
Mm-hmm.
So let's take Skydio, and we were all excited about Skydio because they made us a nice consumer level drone, and it was a good start. I still have my Skydio 2 back right there. You can see it back there. Oh. I fly it once in a while. I really enjoy that drone, but it was 2020 when it came out, something like that, long time ago. DJI then that put them on the map, and they started getting private investment, private equity companies investing in Skydio. those private equity companies, when they give you millions of dollars, they want a piece of the action. They want to know what you're going to do. And I'm sure that that's how they got hooked into the DoD, making military drones, commercial aspects of drones. The margins are so much higher on that. I'm sure their investors said, hey, forget about consumers and all the customer service that requires, and let's go do this. And that's why they do it. So what are we left with? We're left without any kind of consumer drone manufacturing in the country. And I don't know of anybody. Do you guys know of anybody that has shown any interest in the consumer drone market other than Chinese companies? I don't know of any.
I mean, whenever a supposed American drone company talks about making drones in America, they're only talking about high level, mostly enterprise type, like drones that cost like $50,000. They want to make $50,000 drones.
I think the cheapest Skydio drone now is $10,000, and I'm sure there's subscriptions and everything that go on top of that.
Hey, it is too late. If a company started right now, I mean, okay, all these people in this chat, all of us, if they gave us $1 billion to start a company with, it would take us years to do it. Hiring everybody, you got to build the factories, R&D. I mean, it's going to be a decade before something good comes out.
Well, because you got to build the whole supply chain is the problem. You know, from making the electronics to the propellers to everything. It's not just as simple as snapping a finger. What I have always hoped that is another consumer electronics company, like say Sony, would make consumer drones, but we haven't seen that.
Right. Even somebody with that kind of capital.
Well, not just capital, but know-how, right? They understand electronics.
Right.
Yeah.
And
and then hold on, Ron. I'm sorry. I was going to say this with if a company started now, like we're at the DJI right now. 5 years from now, the company that starts today is going to be where they were during the first days, the Phantom One and all that. Woo, look at that. Yeah. They won't go to this point for years and years.
Yeah, it'll set us behind. And the rest of the
world, you're making the point. I was about to say the same thing, that I know everybody wants to see U.S. companies getting the drones, and I would too, whatever. But I mean, why did they wait? If you want to get in the market, why did you wait 2 years? Why did you put yourself behind the 8 ball by 10 years? You should have you should have wanted to get started years ago. Why did you come to the party so late if you wanted to get into it?
Yeah.
Which also makes me wonder if it's kind of one of those things that they just wouldn't mind it if there weren't a bunch of yahoos like us putting drones up in the air,
Lauren says they couldn't move the air peaks. Remember,
they
did an air peak drone. They carried their full frame mirrorless cameras.
But what I'll say is that was a commercial product.
Sorry, I meant Herman. Herman said that.
Yeah, Herman, Herman knows, that was a commercial product. I mean, yeah, and so I'm talking about a consumer level product. So anyway,
that's right, numbers.
He agreed. Now Lawrence agrees with DeMarco. It'll take decades or whatever. Yeah, and of course, I mean, what they, go a little bit further. They can, a U.S. company, they can come right and kind of copy what DJI does. They don't have to go back to the very beginning, because I mean, as far as they could take not violent patents, they can go and just look at what DJI's doing and try to replicate. So they're not starting from scratch, but they're still starting from way behind.
So I want to answer Alex Escardo, a couple more down there, Ron. So here's the difference, Alex, between something like TikTok and DJI. TikTok has millions and millions of users. They are a mass market. So many people in the U.S. use that product. It isn't the same with DJI. Is there maybe 1 million users? I doubt if it's that much.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, we're relatively small potatoes. That's why they could do it with DJI
and TikTok called a lucky break when the current president was kind of on their side.
Well, yeah, it's kind of bounced back and forth, but yeah.
So, but TikTok's a much bigger powerhouse than the entire consumer drone industry all wrapped into one.
Well, the thing about TikTok too is it also has a lot of really high-level American billionaires invested in it too. So that's another thing. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, sorry, I was going to say, Cooper, you are right. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Because remember, like we were talking about this 4 years ago, and we were sort of, oh yeah, it's not going to happen. And now look where we're at. It just keeps coming, slowly coming on us.
Yeah, and it's, again, we're focused on national legislation right now, which of course ultimately could kill it. But what I've been screaming about is local legislation too. It just keeps coming down more and more. More places are off limits, and yeah, only the FAA controls the airspace, but localities can tell you where you can and can't take off from. And some of the most wonderful places to fly are like national monuments and state parks and places like that they just you can't take off from. So it essentially puts them off limits. But even worse than that, I tell the story about when I was in Los Angeles a couple of weeks ago. We were at the Peterson Museum and the Los Angeles Art Museum, which is right next to La Brea Tar Pits. A lot of really cool stuff to look at there. It's in Class G airspace, so there's no airports. It's all Class G airspace. Big signs everywhere. No drones. LA County says you can't take off there. Now, could you go to a parking garage or someplace like that on private property and take off and fly your drone? Yeah, maybe you could, but do you really want to have to hide like that to fly your drone? So it's just, to me, it's disheartening, and you see it more and more.
Hey, I wonder if we could see this somehow though, but if a lot of the legislation started coming down once the Mini came out.
Well, I think there's no doubt that there's part of it is because idiots probably that are,
Well, no, the reason why I say that though, because like that was the drone that was cheap, and it really, really opened up drone flying to the masses.
It was really a big boom to the drone hobby because
And to your point,
let me cut you guys off just for a second. Aaron in the chat, he let us know Don Jr. is on the board of Unusual Machines, which also owns Fast Shark and Rotor Ride e-commerce. Thanks for that, Aaron.
They're going to get some government investment.
Thanks for your point, Aaron. Yes.
But so DeMarco, it plays into what you were saying earlier. Those drones got cheaper, and nobody invested in education. So you have people buying those that were buzzing over people at the parks and things like that. And that you're right. That's part of it.
Hey, look, Johnny's checked in from a secret location.
Woke up. He's sitting on the beach right now watching us.
I know where he's sitting. He's sitting on that little covered patio right on the river down there. Is what he's doing. He's probably a fat juicy hamburger or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So back to DeMarco. So you think it's possible that the executive order comes out, they inspect the DJI drone, take it apart, look for all the spy equipment, it comes back clean as a whistle? Do you think all that can happen in time for the release of these new products at the end of the summer, the Mini 5, the Avata 3? No. How fast of a timeline is all this going to have here?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it will come back fast enough. Why would it come back fast enough to help them? DJI, meaning. No, it wouldn't. And you got to think about it. If it is clean, DJI knows it already. They're probably sitting there like, wait, it's clean. Nothing's wrong. We haven't done anything. Look. So
yeah. Herman is saying he told us about Unusual Machines a while back. So yeah.
Thank you, Herman.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take you guys down another road. So say none of this gets worked out. The executive order bans DJI drones or whatever. So what is the future? What is our droning future? And I know that sometimes they say DJI drones, sometimes they say Chinese drones. I'm not convinced that it's all Chinese drones, but say there's a world where DJI doesn't get any drones through, but all the other little Amazon drones, all the other little drones are still coming through somehow. Marcus mentioned a few. Rookroos are still coming through, and Holy Stones are still coming through. What is our future? What is going forward? Give me the next year, both of you, without any new DJI drones. What is the drone world like? Let's say for the next 2 years, if we don't see any more new DJI drones come to the U.S.
Well, hang on to your other DJI drones, because honestly, nobody is even close. And even Autel is probably the closest, and even they're 3 steps behind DJI. So it's just not, there just isn't anything. And I can tell you, because I test a lot of those second tier drones, they're not even in the same ballpark. They're improving. They've improved a lot. I mean, if you'd have asked me that same question 5 years ago, a lot of those little Amazon drones, man, you could barely fly them. You'd be lucky if you could take off on the darn thing. So they've gotten now where you can actually fly them, but they're not even in the same ballpark with DJI. Not even close. The flight controls, the cameras, the gimbals, the FPV signal, the control signal, none of it is not even close to what we get with DJI. So if we're stuck with that, that's probably what we would fly, I suppose. But like you've said, Ron, I'm hanging on to what I got, my DJI drones that I have, and I'll be flying those as long as I can. And maybe at some point the batteries wear out. I don't know what we'll do.
Hey, I want to thank Chris Hope for his generous contribution to the show. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris is a great drone flyer out in Texas.
Still flies
FPV drone. Does a Sunday morning sunrise flight. Catch it every morning. And unfortunately, he does it with the DJI drone. I think he does it with an older Phantom 4. So Chris is still flying those old drones. So to your point, Marcus, here's Chris still running a Sunday morning show with an antique drone at this point.
Well, okay, so put Intel Maxell's multi-rotors.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
So that's exactly right. So you go to Cuba now and you see old American cars from the 50s. 20 years from now in the United States, you're going to see a bunch of old DJI drones creeping through the sky.
But they'll still be better than the non-DJI drones that are currently for sale, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, DeMarco, we'll go you, DeMarco. How do you see the future in the next couple of years if there's no new DJI drones getting released? How's the playing field with all these Holy Stones and I'm trying to think of the other names, Rookos, Phoebes, Hubsons. What kind of future is that?
Well, I mean, it's not my future. I'm not flying no. I'm not flying no. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
HS600, DeMarco, come on.
Is that the Beast drone? Is that the Beast drone too? Another name for it? Or?
Yeah.
No. What I'm just guessing here, but what it looks like, if they aren't banned totally, this will be our future for the next 3 to 5 years of a drone coming out and we don't get it. The Mini 6 are going to be coming. We don't get it, or some, it come to Canada or some weekend. I truly think we won't have a normal drone lease for at least.
Okay, DeMarco, let me run this by you. So you correct. Okay, so we can't get DJI drones, but that doesn't mean the rest of the world won't get them.
Oh yeah, I know.
So my point is this: so we'll have all this news, and we'll see the rest of the world flying all these products that get more and more advanced. Man, who you're just going to go? I don't. It'd be so discouraging to go. Well, okay. I'm in the United States of America, the most successful economy in the whole world, but I can't buy that, and the rest of the world can. Yeah. I mean, geez.
Hey, for me, you and Ron and most of the chat, I mean, like what I'm flying now is great. Mavic 3 and Mini 3. I mean, it's not like I'm missing. There's some small things I don't have though, but I got something that's great. 5 years from now, what's it going to be like? I'm really going to be jealous.
That's my point. Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah. Okay, and we're going to shift gears a little bit here. You know, I know Marcus and I both kind of had the same thoughts. We know we could get an Mavic 4 Pro if we wanted to go through other channels. There's eBay, there's Adorama, there's going to Canada, BH Photo, whatever. But the big concern for us is one of the benefits of having a DJI drone is the warranty, the aftercare, the care refresh, all the support you get if you have an issue with drone. All that goes away if you do buy it, through gray market sellers. The 1 year warranty won't be honored. You can't get care refresh. If anything happens to drone, you got to hope to find some little Joe's drone repair to fix it for you.
Yeah. So okay, I just want to pile on to the point that you just made, Ron. So that what everybody's going to say is, oh, go get State Farm insurance. Yeah, you can get State Farm insurance.
Somebody told me I can't verify this, Marcus, that State Farm won't insure the Mavic 4 Pro. I can't verify that. Somebody said that.
For the sake of argument that they do, just hypothetically, let's say that they do. State Farm is not going to repair your drone. They don't have a drone repair service. So, B.
No, unless you total your drone, it's no good.
Yeah, where are you going to get parts? All they're going to be able to do is replace your drone, or they can't even replace your drone. They can give you the money for the drone, and then it's up to you to try and wiggle around and figure a way to get it from Canada or B&H or Cuba or wherever you can get the drone from.
Yeah. And of course, I'm at this point, I'm not willing to do that. The drone is going to cost me like a bottom package, like a $2,600. But here's the question. Okay, these other drones come along. They're in a lower price category. Maybe if a Neo 2 comes out, and maybe I can't get any warranty or care refresh, but I'm not paying all that much for it. Maybe I'll take it. Maybe I'll buy a South Korean eBay Neo 2 because
I agree.
I'm not really worried about the care refresh. If I destroy a $300 drone, that's not good, but I'm not going to be losing any sleep over it. You have the same type of feeling.
$4,000 drone. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, but how high would you be willing to go? Say a Mini 5 comes out. And of course, the current Mini was, I forget if you bought the base, even if you bought the base package, it was still like $750, $800. So this Mini 5 is probably going to be pushing $900 base package, maybe close to $1,000, especially with one sensor, all this. Would you be willing to go up to almost $1,000 without any after support at all, care refresh? You're totally on your own. What's your limit to how far you're going to go?
Yeah, I'd say $500-$600 maybe be the top of that.
Maybe, yeah, no.
Yeah, so that's going to limit you the drones. Like, if they come out with a new Mini 4K type thing, but that's going to right now in the current lineup that limits you to the Neo and the Flip.
Also, part of this hobby for me, and I know it is for you guys as well, is I just love the technology. I'm like Mark Fisher said last week or week before, we're drone enthusiasts. That's how I would describe myself. I'm not a professional photographer, not a professional videographer. Yeah, I've got a commercial license, but I don't do any commercial work. I'm a drone enthusiast. I love the technology, and people give me a hard time when I upgrade to the newer drone, but I do it because I love the incremental improvements that we get with that technology.
Remember exactly what Mark said. I don't need it, but I want it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah.
So, DeMarco, how about you? How much would you be willing to pay buy a DJI drone that you don't get any support on whatsoever?
700, maybe 8.
Yeah,
that's that's why I'm giggling. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I do have Refresh and State Farm, and the reason why I keep State Farm is just in case, like the worst happens, I lose the drone. That's what my state's farm for. If I ever
Yeah.
damaged it, I wouldn't report it. I'd send it in for I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
Care Refresh has replacement policy. Yeah.
Yeah. But only how many? What, 2, right? 1 or 2.
Well, how many drones do you lose a year?
None. But for $70 a year, it's nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So I just haven't both those. So, but about 700 probably. I couldn't buy like you were saying. I couldn't buy the Mavic 4 for $3,000 and not have it have a refresh on it. That's scary for me anyway. For me.
Yeah. You pay the $3,000 again, and your first flight, something happens, and it's, you know, whatever, it needs a major repair. Oh, even need a minor repair, and you all you have is a kind of a trophy at that point. You know.
Well, I can speak to that. You know, remember the early FEMI drones and the early Hubsan drones? I would buy those things, and you inevitably had problems, and it was so frustrating not to be able to get service on those products. You felt like you just threw money out the window. Yeah. So it'd be the same thing.
Yeah. And John Kuby makes a good point here. The Mavic 4 did get FCC approval, but if all these bans go through, the Mavic 5 won't even get the FCC approval. So then if you got it in the country through eBay or some of the sources, it wouldn't even be legal to fly.
It wouldn't even be legal to fly.
I heard Zach told us, who was in here earlier, that, you know, he was able to register his Mavic 4 Pro with the FCC, so he is legal
with
to fly.
With the FAA, you mean? Yeah.
He is legal to fly it in the U.S.
Yeah.
So, but it probably, as John pointed out, the Mavic 5 probably won't be able to register with the FAA, and you'll be even illegal to fly it.
Yeah, because you got to register a remote ID drone. I mean, I don't know if you then at that point could you put a module on it, but I don't know the legalities of that. So. Yeah.
What Waypoint saying you can't get State Farm in Rhode Island, and maybe there's other insurance companies that insure drones too. I've never looked into it. I've always bought the Care Refresh and never bought the because as Marcus pointed out, I've sent in one DJI drone for repair. I've sent one Alcatel drone in for repair, but they were minor kind of crashes. They arms are broken. They weren't total. They didn't need I didn't need to get the full refund back. They were easy, affordable repair jobs.
Jim Anderson is asking, would DJI still allow activation? How would we know that? Don't know.
Yeah, well, for the Mavic 4 Pro, they did. Zach.
Well, yeah, but he's talking about in the future if a ban would go through. Yeah.
Good question. Who knows? 50-50, one way or the other.
Yeah, I wonder then what you do. Say if you went up to Canada to buy one, you would then activate it while you were in Canada and then come home.
Lou's saying here, even if you don't have Care Refresh, I'm sure you can get repairs from DJI, right? I've heard that's pretty reasonable. Lou, I don't think anybody has actually crashed their Mavic 4 in the U.S. yet, so that hasn't been tested. But their PR people have said the one year warranty comes with every drone will not be honored. But I don't know if the PR department said that they would not repair drones from the U.S., but I'm not sure about that again. But the bottom line is nobody's tested that yet for the repair.
Johnny's making a good comment there too. So would we still get Fly app updates and if you brought in let's call it a gray market drone at that point, would you be able to update firmware, etc.? Yeah, that's a great question, Johnny. Yeah.
I mean, maybe not over the air or whatever, but you know, you could always go to DJI's website and just download it onto the computer and do it that way, even if you couldn't get over the air. I mean, even if you couldn't get the DJI's website from the US, you could always spoof your computer and come to it from another country like Canada and download the update to a computer. So I'm saying maybe not easily, Johnny, but there probably will always be ways to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's workarounds for stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you could use a VPN and
that's what I talk about, VPN, and just come in if like you're in another country. So hey, our good Dr. Joe has a question here. Can I order an Air 3S Flymore combo for $21.99? There are 12 more left. Do you guys think the Mavic 4 Pro will be available here soon, or would you get the Air 3s? Well, first of all, the Air 3S, even though it got marked up to $21.99 through tariffs, for a long time it sold for $15.99. Did that $15.99 go away? And is it actually $21.99 on DJI's website now? That's my question to you.
Let me look. I'll tell you, Ron.
But the answer, I'm going to be the first one that you guys all answer this question. But I'm going to say I have no idea whether the Mavic 4 Pro will be available in the U.S. soon. It could be tomorrow. It could be next year. It could be never. You can't go wrong with the Air 3S, Dr. Joe. It's a great drone. I mean, it as far as flying and technology-wise, it's pretty close to the Mavic 4 Pro. It doesn't have that fancy gimbal, and it doesn't have the 4/3 camera. Marcus,
so Ron, DJI is showing it out of stock, and I'm not sure I understand this. Okay. They have a price. They have a price of $15.99.
Yes,
but then right next to it, it's got US dollars $22.50, and that's grayed out and crossed out. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. For a long time, it seemed to be when the tariffs hit, they seemed to have marked it up to like $21.99. It must have changed again there, but immediately it was on sale for $15.99. So essentially, they ate the tariffs for the combo. But you're saying that's even changed now. So he couldn't get the Flymore combo from DJI even if he wanted to. Is that correct, Marcus? Even if he wanted.
Yeah. Not direct from DJI. Good night, kids.
Good night. As you go to Amazon, usually you have to buy it from a third-party seller who's marking it up.
Yeah.
So
I would get it, Joe.
If you,
Joe,
if you
know, DeMarco, I don't. Man, if what he really wants is a Mavic 4, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I paid $21.99 for an Air 3S Flymore combo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd pay the $15 for it if you can get it for that. But
what's he flying out? What are you flying out, Joe?
The question, should he wait around for the Mavic 4 Pro to be available soon? I can't tell you that I think it's going to be available anytime soon. But I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I just have no data whether it's be available sooner, later, or never.
Spitting in the wind.
Exactly. Knowing that like we don't know when the Mavic 4 is going to be available, I would get the Air 3S. I would.
Yeah, I totally agree with Marcus. And I'm going to go back to something DeMarco. I'll go back to something you said, Marcus, a while ago about the Mavic 4 Pro. That you quoted Mike Wright saying he wanted to get because of the last, maybe drone he could get from DJI, whatever, most advanced drone. But now I think you have to backtrack that. If the Mavic 4 Pro is never available, grab the Air 3S because that'll be the most advanced drone that DJI ever releases in the U.S.
In the U.S.,
Yeah. But I mean, so everything you guys said about the Mavic 4 Pro, that kind of backs up to the Air 3S. Now that may be the most advanced DJI drone we ever see.
Yeah.
In the U.S.
Yeah.
Good question, Dr. Joe. If you can possibly grab an Air 3S, it'd be hard to pass because again, the future of the Mavic 4 Pro's not looking good right now in the U.S. And real off the subject, did you see Xavier put a valid video yesterday, whatever? He kind of, everybody kind of waxes poetic about the Mavic 4 Pro. Xavier kind of pointed out some of the things that maybe weren't so great about the Mavic 4 Pro. So he said he wasn't trying to put there. He said I would still get the drone. It's still his favorite drone, but as he said, it's not perfect. He said no drone's perfect.
Well, he tends to dwell on the negative side of things, I've noticed. So there you go.
Well, that makes for some views on videos too, right?
There you go. That's what I think. I think that's after clicks is what that is.
Ray Kelly says, can you pre-order the Mavic 4 Pro at Burger? You can at Burger Bros Camera for $26.99.
You can pre-order it at a lot of places, Captain Ray. I mean, from B&H or from, but that
South Korea is selling them.
Heck, Captain Ray, I'll pre-order it for you. So yeah,
you send me the $26.99.
Just send me the money, and I'll as soon as it's available, I'll send it to you.
Send it out, yeah.
And I'm joking, but that's exactly what those retailers are doing. They don't know when they're going to get it. They're just saying, okay, well, they want you to commit to them, so that they'll get the sale.
Brad Henderson says he spent around $85 on filters and like $36 on tariff fees just to buy ND filters.
Well, that's DHL for DHL is a mess. Yeah. Captain Ray, sadly it's not. It went back up to $299.
Yeah. I think it just happened overnight. I think it was $249 yesterday.
Yeah.
Old Fart says the best camera is the one in your hand. Yep, that's that too. Let's see. Old Farts, Jones, exactly the process I have too. Marcus pays at 15% interest.
What does that mean, Johnny? I don't even know what that means.
Well, that's the cryptic comma of the night award.
Yeah.
So he thought about the Burger Brothers. They have it for $299 now. Not you don't mean the Mavic.
Yeah, you can get it from Amazon for $299 as well, Captain Ray. Yeah.
What can you get for $299, Marcus?
The Mini 4.
Okay.
Yeah, the Mini 4K. You got to be careful when you say that.
Hey, look, John has a comment. The iPhone will soon be made in America, though.
Yeah, yeah, I'm waiting for that too. Oh, what a freaking joke!
Dr. Joe says I'm ordering it now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's a great drone.
Dr. Joe wants to flyer to see Kits and pick a Mavic 4 Pro up down there at the duty free store. Yeah.
Hey, Captain Ray, before you pay $299, if you're not in a hurry for a Mini 4K, they put it on sale from. They put it on.
Marcus, I think he already has a Mini 4K.
Well, he was talking about. Well, okay, I'll shut up.
Can I
just want to make a point? I was trying to say something to Captain Ray, but take it away, boys.
Well, no, I think he has one already, but go ahead. I save your breath, you know.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
I'm done.
Go.
No, I'm done. Go ahead. On with the show.
Yeah, what I think you're going to say, excuse me too, Marcus. I'm going to say it keeps going on sale. So it was on sale before, not that long ago, I think, right?
Yeah, it's been on sale. It's been on sale quite often. And I think it was even lower around the holidays. I think we saw it for like $235 or $239 during the holidays.
Mini 4K, yeah.
I know nothing.
Marcus, that's a question, Marcus. That's a question.
Mini 4K is a wonderful drone.
At any price.
So here's the point that I was trying to make. If you guys will let me finish here for a second. So what I was trying to say is that from time to time, it's on sale on Amazon. So if you want one, often it's at $269. And here recently we saw it for $249. And I think, like Ron said, around the holidays, $229. So if you don't want to pay that full price, you don't have to. Just wait for it to go on sale, because it does every so often.
Old Bob said $239.
I can't believe I got that out.
Hey, sooner or later there won't be any for sale, too. So I mean, it's only a matter of time.
Well, that's that de minimis thing too, DeMarco. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
J.A. says that the brother lives in Toronto. He'd get the Mavic 4 Pro delivered there. Maybe you can use address for care refresh. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Just have him registered with his Canadian address, everything.
I've thought of that too. Like, is if you went up to Canada to buy one, activate it while you're in Canada and buy the care refresh while you're up there. I mean that it's just a thought. I don't know.
Yeah.
If then it would, when you got back home, would it not be allowed? Of course, DJI, you're registered with DJI, so they already know you're a U.S. citizen. So would it not be allowed? I don't know.
Right. Well, Dr. Joseph has now. If his brother lives in Toronto, if he crashes, he could just send it back up to Canada, and his brother could put the claim in.
Yeah.
So, but again, all this stuff's great, Marcus. But you and I, we don't want to. that's not the way we want to operate.
That's the point that we've made many times. Is listen, I just want to do everything on the up and up. It's just like I was talking about in California. There, yeah, could I maybe flown my drone over the La Brea tar pits if I had taken off in a top of a parking garage or something? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to be shady about how I do something. And it's the same thing with buying these drones. If I have to go up to Canada to do it and buy Care Refresh up there and jump through all these hoops, sorry, I don't want to do that.
No, hey, like you shouldn't have to jump through all these hoops,
right?
Just to fly a drone. And then if something happens, like you're watch over your shoulder the whole time, just in case something. Oh my God, this is crazy that we are here right now. Crazy.
It's nuts, isn't it? Yeah.
Mike Rick just arrived at our new house and he's going to watch you at the beginning. Mike, we just mentioned a little while ago about you saying when you made your statement about you're going to get the Mavic for a Pro because it may be the last, drone you get from DJI. But right now it looks like the Air 3S was the last.
Oh, so let me make one more point. So the concern about DJI and being a security risk. And actually, this even covers the thing about the whole Customs and Border Patrol because of the Uyghur thing and not allowing those drones through customs. Why is the United States the only country in the world that's concerned about that? Canada doesn't do that. Europe doesn't do that. I mean, are we on some kind of, that's kind of a mystery to me too. Doesn't seem to be a concern to the rest of the world. Why is it just us?
Mm-hmm.
Politics, money. Yeah.
No, again, all this, the things that DJI is doing wrong, none of that, we haven't seen the evidence of any of it. The spying, the Uyghurs, and the frustrating thing is, Johnny and I talk about this a lot, is it seems like they always talk about unelected officials making decisions for citizens. Okay, we have unelected customs people at these ports around the country.
You're wrong, Ron. You're wrong. There is in fact, maybe I can find it here. Yeah. So the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act was passed by Congress. So the Customs and Border Patrol are just trying to enforce that act, and so that they're not just doing it on their own. They're enforcing what Congress told them to do.
DJI was specifically mentioned in that bill by Congress.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Exactly right. Now, what I think where you're going with this is, I think sometimes individual packages, I think, sneak through and maybe don't always.
Well, remember, when it's coming direct from DJI, the box is a dead giveaway. When you buy from a Korean reseller, it's coming through in a
they don't know what it is, right?
Wrapper box, and they're not like opening anything. I guess it's not suspicious or whatever.
Well, we've all heard about drones, like people that have Care Refresh, DJI shipping the drone from Canada. And for a while, I know we were getting some DJI products were coming from Hong Kong rather than mainland. Well, of course, Hong Kong is part of China now, but I think they were jumping through some of those kind of hoops.
So back to your other thing, what you're saying is, okay, the customs officer would have that down the list. So say all your drones got through, and all John's drones got through in Louisiana. So you're just saying that the customs, the inspectors or whatever, the people that work at your sites, they're kind of lax.
They missed it.
The people in Miami are doing their job.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. So we're picking on the people that are actually doing their jobs, and the people, the inspectors in Louisiana and Boise are just lax.
Yeah. So I see Bob is saying they just got their refurb Mini 2 from Canada. So that's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, I mean, we way past the agenda on the show. So I know we went down to, I know we get into a dark mode there talking about the banning and all these issues that we really don't have any. All we have is speculation. We don't really have any answers for you on all of this.
It'll be interesting to see what happens this week, if indeed those executive orders are going to get signed, and we'll know a little more. Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, we'll be fed a little bit more information, but like we never really get a definitive answer on anything.
Hey, we've all said it before. If this was a huge security risk, why are they slow walking this thing?
Right.
If it was a big security risk, they would all those drones. They would have already banned me flying all those drones behind me. Right.
Yeah,
that's where I'm going with it too.
I mean, your door.
Yeah, the security risk story popped up in 2020, where we're almost halfway through 2025, and then they're just now stopping them. I mean,
and not even stopping them, like slow. Okay, that one.
Yeah.
Hey, you down there? You're no. It's all right.
And we're the only country in the world doing it. And I'll draw another analogy. Well, it's not exactly an analogy, but remember when they banned Huawei, and they showed us why Huawei was a security risk.
Yeah, they showed exactly why. Yep.
It wasn't just the U.S. that got rid of that Huawei equipment. Europe got rid of it. Canada got rid of it. A lot of countries rejected Huawei at that time because it was proven that there was a problem. So now they're saying the same thing about DJI, but the rest of those countries, they're still getting their drones. So, and plus they haven't shown us that smoking gun that we all talk about. So I don't know. That's weird.
And we've already seen reports that third-party security companies have taken apart DJI drones and they haven't found anything. Yeah. And some of these companies have done it are companies that the military uses or whatever. These aren't just, Joe Blow's security company. These are companies that do government work. Can't find anything wrong with them.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks. That's it. I mean, great questions and comments in the chat tonight, as always. I know this is a hard topic to talk about, especially when nobody really has any answers. Just theories. And we don't know what the future brings. We don't know what the near future brings. We don't know what the long-term future brings. We know, basically we said, if you don't own a DJI drone right now, try to get one as soon as you can. Go out tomorrow and buy one or whatever, through any methods you can. Because like we talked about, if no DJI drones come through for forever or whatever, a couple of years, you'll be flying some of the third-party drones that Marcus reviews that almost none of them really pass the review all the way through. All of them usually have some kind of, a gotcha, right?
They do.
Yeah. So
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Well,
DeMarco, in a couple of years, we'll see you out there flying all these holy stones, and
I'd be mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be like Marcus. That'd be like say. The Corvettes got banned for some reason. They had spy equipment in it. So you went to buy a car, and
my Corvette does have spy equipment in it. General Motors got in trouble. No, they did. General Motors got sued because they were spying on all your data that they got from your car. They were selling it to data brokers who were selling it to insurance companies. So yeah, my Corvette has been spying on me.
Okay, well, take that scenario. Say, okay, so that got GM banned. The GM cars can't be sold in the U.S. and Ford did the same thing. He got banned. So your only choice is to drive a Yugo now. So you have to go. One day you're driving a Corvette C whatever, and the next day you're driving a 1985 Yugo.
I'll take an Uber.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But that's sort of the technology downfall that we'll see, right? You'll go from a Corvette to a Yugo.
Yeah.
When you're flying the third-party guys.
Yeah. That's basically what they're asking us to do with drones. Yeah. It's a good analogy, Ron.
Yeah. Hey, it's always a winner if you work Yugo into the conversation. Of course, you have to be a certain age to remember Yugo. Remember, they used to say, "Hey, what they say, you get him in, you go," or whatever,
Yeah. Hey, Bill Grace is saying, all the toy drones from China. Yeah, I would think, Bill, that it would catch up with them eventually. maybe not as fast as.
But I mean, Bill, I don't. All I know is what I hear from people. I haven't heard one person say anywhere that those two drones got stopped at the
other than
border.
DJI and Autel. That's all really what.
And I've never heard anybody tell me their Autel drone order got stopped at the border.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
Guys, wait.
why I don't think the toys will get stopped at the border is, again, whatever lobbyists are doing all this to us, they don't care about those junk drones. They don't care if those things come in or don't come in or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but
Guys, big news. Uncle Kevin is watching the show. He's back.
Uncle Kev.
His basketball game got canceled. Doesn't he play basketball on Monday nights?
He said he's watching the show. So, hey, Unc, what's up?
Uncle Kevin, good to see you back again.
Speaking of Corvettes too, since he got one too.
Uncle Kev's got a nice Corvette. Yeah.
He might as well buy the Corvette because he won't need to spend the money on the Mavic 4 Pro.
Ron, like you said, you should have said a Corvair. That's a jam.
I would like to have a mint condition Corvair.
Yeah, me too. I'd take it.
But I don't want to mint condition Hugo.
No. No. Anyway, roll it.
That is it. We're gonna see you guys back next week. Hopefully we got some good news next week. Maybe some good drone news. Drones for good.
There you go. I hope I didn't sound too negative tonight, but
you did.
I'm gonna admit I'm discouraged. I am. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I don't want to go all sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops tonight. Yeah. It wasn't the night to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, if this was real, I wouldn't feel like this. But it's totally made up. I mean, totally made up.
Oh, you mean the accusations are not?
Yeah. If this was like, I don't know, maybe, but I mean, it's just totally made up.
Yeah.
You're sitting there
DeMarco, look at the highlighted comment now.
I like that logo, Uncle Kevin. That logo rocks.
Hey, there he is.
Look at that logo.
DeMarco probably designed it for him.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, roll it, Ron. Ready?
Yeah, we're out of here. See you next Monday.